All right, what's going on, community? Blue collar CEOs, Winners Mindset Fitness community. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday morning, busy at work, closing lots of sales, especially if you're in the office, if you're in the field. Hope you guys are, working hard and all that good stuff. Hopefully not killing yourself too much. Um, and I hope the materials coming in good, machines not breaking down, all that good stuff. So today we're going to be talking about, how to actually make sure we're not just blowing our face up with calories in the evening, right? This might be a little bit easier if you're working in the office, depending on your habits and discipline and all that kind of stuff. More so tricky if you're in the field, right? Not eating throughout the day, and then you come home from evening and the meal's already ready for you, all that kind of stuff. Now, before I go into all that, if you're watching this live, comment hashtag live. If you're watching this on the replay, comment hashtag replay. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Miles Wold, and I own and operate the Winners Mindset Fitness Academy, specific fitness academy for blue collar CEOs such as yourself, whether you're in the field, in the office, or 50-50 and all that kind of stuff, who are struggling with low energy, excess body fat, low muscle mass, so that can help you guys turn into better leaders, lose the fat, put on muscle, have more energy, be able to show up in the best possible self for the business, for the family, for yourself, for your own mindset, right? And one of the biggest things with that is kind of what we're eating day to day, right? Throughout the day, because if we're eating, too much, that excess weight is coming on, that's going to drag our energy down, right? It forces our body to work harder than what it needs to with that extra weight, 20, 30, 50 plus pounds on our body frame. Like, if you have, maybe those who are tuning in, you guys have young kids, maybe they're 20, 30, 50 pounds, and, you can feel them get heavier week over week, month over month. You can feel that weight coming on every time you pick them up, right? Imagine that weight being on your own body, right? And having your own bones and muscles having to move that kind of weight around, right? Might not feel like it all the time, but that is some extra weight that might be holding back mentally, physically, especially if you've got, joints that are aching, knees, elbows, shoulders, lower back, all that kind of stuff. Now, let's get into it, right? So if you're coming home, maybe you're not eating throughout the day, and, you come home from hard day's work, and, meals are already ready for you. One of the biggest things, how we can actually stop the overeating, the binge eating in the evening, is have more meals evenly spread out throughout the day, so you can actually regulate your hunger, right? So you're not just stuffing your face, whether it's with fast food or even in the evening, right? With pantry snacks in your pantry, maybe you're taking some of your kids' desserts and cookies and all that kind of stuff and stuffing your face with them, or having seconds and thirds of dinner and all that kind of stuff, right? So regulate your hunger throughout the day. Maybe you need to have a breakfast, maybe you need to have a proper lunch, right? Not just fast food, but actual proper lunch that fills you up and gives you energy throughout the day. Maybe you need to have some snacks to regulate your hunger. So very important, right? If you're not eating, this is where, having breakfast might actually be beneficial for you, right? So if you're not eating throughout the day and you find you're overeating in the evening, have 3 meals just to start off, right? We don't need to be eating every 2 hours, having 6 small meals. That's kind of old school stuff that was taught maybe 20, 30 years ago, and it's kind of still stuck around depending on who you talk to. Just having 3 meals, maybe a snack in between each, something small to regulate your hunger, with plenty of water, right? To keep you hydrated, to keep you full. So that's number 1. Spread out your meals if you aren't having any already. Number 2, when it comes to actual the meals themselves and the food we're going to be eating within it, is having a little bit higher in protein, anywhere from 30 to 50 grams per meal. And that will specifically leave you full compared to donuts, compared to fast food, compared to cookies, compared to cakes and fruit juices and all that kind of stuff, right? Stuff that is designed to leave you hungry so that you overeat it in turn, right? So this is where meal prepping your lunches on the weekend is vital, is a key play for your success, right? So whatever day you're doing groceries, what I'm thinking here is you want to set yourself up to do meal prep on Sunday, is what I'm trying to get across here. So this means you might have to do groceries on Friday or Saturday, cook a bunch of your protein, chicken, beef, fish, turkey, pork, all that kind of stuff. Cook that in advance on Sunday and then portion it out with some vegetables. Portion it out with some carbs, some potatoes, some rice, and all that kind of stuff. Portion it into 5-6 Tupperware, specifically your lunches. Like if you typically don't make dinners, don't really need to worry about that too much. But maybe for breakfast too, you need to plan that out, right? Maybe you need to meal prep that in advance. And I can tell you specifically with like beef and fish, it'll probably stay pretty good for you in the fridge, 5-6 days. And if you're really worried about it, put those last 3 days, let's just say Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, stick those in the freezer, bring them out on Tuesday, let them thaw out in the fridge, and then they'll be good to go for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, if that's something that's really your concern. But ideally, having that prepped out 5 days in advance, Monday through Friday at the very least. And that'll have your lunches secured. You know what you're going to eat. It's going to be good because you put it together yourself, right? You're going to be eating some quality food. If you're in the office, pick something that you enjoy. Maybe it's some sandwiches, maybe it's like some chili and all that kind of stuff, tacos, whatnot. If you're in the field, maybe you want to bring like a thermos rather, have something warm, right, to take you throughout the day, right? Nobody likes to eat a really cold sandwich. Nobody likes to eat cold food. So really map out a plan in advance, what can I make that will be warm throughout the day? It's going to be high protein, and that's going to, fill me up so I don't eat everything in sight when I get home from work, right? Very important. So that's number 2. Number 1, spread your meals, more meals throughout the day to regulate your hunger. Number 2, more whole foods, protein, vegetables, some kind of carbs. Probably need to eat more fruits in your life too. Maybe for breakfast, have a bowl of fruit, some fresh fruit, frozen fruit, doesn't really matter, right? Both are going to be good for you. That's number 2. Now, number 3 here, if you're doing all of the above, right? If you're already doing all of the above, then it's just a matter of discipline, right? And make it more difficult on yourself to actually, not stuff your face, right? So this might mean, number 1, don't let those snacks, if that's your weakness, snacks, cookies, donuts, whatever, don't let them enter your house. So that means don't put it in your cart when you're at the grocery store. Walk by that aisle, focus on the perimeter of the grocery store instead of everything that's in the aisles as much as possible, right? Then another one is, let's say, God forbid, some of that comes into the house, it's in the pantry, stick it up in the high part of the pantry, stick it all the way in the back, make it difficult on yourself, hide it, keep it out of sight, out of mind, right? So if it's high, if it's difficult to get to, you will make it easier on yourself because you won't have those kind of internal battles, right? As humans, we're lazy quite a bit of the time, right? A lot of us are lazy. I can certainly be lazy quite a bit. So I like to make it more difficult on myself, right? I don't really buy it as much as possible. Sure, I'll certainly have some on the occasion. I'm human just like everyone else here. But having it high up, way in the back, out of sight, out of mind, behind a closed pantry, so I don't have to, again, have those kind of internal battles. I don't have to use willpower. I just have the discipline and the habits locked in, so I don't even think about stuffing my face with those kind of pantry snacks, cookies, cakes, donuts, what have you, right? So those are really the 2 biggest things when it comes to discipline, right? It's really lowering the internal struggles that you would normally have with yourself, right? Number 1, don't let it enter your house. Don't let it enter your grocery cart. Then number two, if it does enter your grocery cart, if it does enter your house, make it more difficult for yourself to access it. Right? Keep it out of sight, keep it out of mind, because then you won't even think about it, right? And neither will anybody else in the family, right? As much as possible, right? So find ways to make it easier on yourself, right? Let go of always having to do these internal struggles, right? This is a lot easier than what it needs to be. So that's number three. Really lock in that discipline. And if you're not sure how to, make this all part of your lifestyle, not sure what meals to make, not sure how to make it work within your structure, not even sure how to, have the proper workouts to actually see the most amount of results with the least amount of time, shoot me a DM. Love to chat, see if it's possible for us to even help you out, right? And if you have any questions as you've gone along through this training, let me know. Drop it in the comments. More than happy to answer any kind of question that you might have. So that's a short one for today, short and sweet. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Cheers.